welcome back to my channel. My name is Scarlett and I like swim and shine. I really love my grandma and pops.
Now that of course was my lovely daughter Scarlett. You guys probably haven't seen her in a while. The last time I kind of featured her on my channel was when she was about 18, 19 months old. She just really wanted to say hello to all of you guys today. And I thought it was a pretty cute idea. Although she would probably love to talk about Shimmer and Shine more with all of you guys, today I'll be talking about something a little bit different. As INFPs, we are constantly faced with new challenges each day. Some that we know will fulfill our life purpose, but also others that are kind of just really annoying. This video is inspired by how my week was last week. I was constantly out of my comfort zone, dealing with matters of conflict, but also really heavy, mundane tasks such as sitting my license finally. It has been one of the most challenging things in my life. I had passed it once when I lived in Melbourne, but then I had to take it again here in New Zealand, and I had failed it the first time. So, that was really quite off-putting to me. Studying for my license had got to be one of the most boring, mundane things I've ever had to do. But alas, I did pass with a lot of anxiety. And then all through my week, I had dealt with issues of conflict and just being able to speak my truth without sugarcoating everything. And I got there in the end. I got through these little challenges and it had inspired me to do this video. So I guess I will start my first challenge off by drawing on my experience with my license. There is nothing more challenging to an INFP than doing really heavy reality-based things every single day. It can get so draining. As INFPs, we are constantly drawn to new and exciting things that can feed into our introverted feeling and extroverted intuition. When INFPs are constantly tapping into their introverted sensing and extroverted thinking, that is when it becomes quite heavy. We need to really balance it with our top two functions, which are introverted feeling and extroverted intuition, which of course could translate into doing something creative or simply getting lost in a fantasy novel. Anything really that can ignite our passions, ignite our internal dream worlds. That is where we like to be because we feel completely safe in these worlds. We feel that we can completely be ourselves and explore infinite possibilities. That is what really makes us tick and what makes us feel completely in our element. As a stay-at-home mum and a housewife, I tend to feel quite drained by the tedious amounts of housework that there is to do. It can be a real challenge for me to get to the end of the day and not have any energy left to do the things that I enjoy, to do the things that really make me me. I'm constantly using my introverted sensing and extroverted thinking every single day, and I feel that my happiest when I'm able to really utilize my introverted feeling and extroverted intuition, when I am able to work on projects such as these videos, or when I'm able to go traveling with my family or do really exciting new things. I'd also like to quickly draw on the fact that going ahead and doing my license test had been quite scary for me. To be in a testing situation, I felt really, really anxious going in to do it because I really, really wanted to pass. Testing situations are horrible, and I think it comes down to the fact that we are perfectionists. We like to be able to get things right, and we're our biggest critics, of course. All I wanted to do was make my family proud. INFPs are notorious for not completing projects and procrastinating. I am a prime example. I had told all of you guys maybe half a year ago that I was supposed to put out this travel vlog, and it's kind of just sat in the computer not doing anything. I still have ways to go with it yet, and to tell you the truth, I'm procrastinating and I'm really sorry. But there is most definitely a reason for this, and that is because INFPs draw everything they do on what they're inspired by. If we're not inspired by something, good luck getting us to do it. I'm not saying I'm not inspired by this previous project that I was working on, but there are other projects that at the moment are taking priority. INFPs can be really quick to change our minds. We're the kind of people who like to make life decisions by how we feel about it. A few years ago, I had taken out a loan so that I could go to Germany, Denmark and Norway. Now this didn't end up happening because of certain circumstances, but the moment I decided to go, I waltzed down to the bank and took a loan out. Now any logical person in their right mind probably wouldn't have done that, especially in the position that I was in, but I just had this feeling like that I should go because my dream is to go to Norway and see the Northern Lights, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me from doing that. Now, if INFPs learn how to strengthen their introverted sensing and extroverted thinking, then I think that is where we can be really successful with the projects that we want to undergo. By really sticking it out and keeping that clear goal in mind, we are then opening the doors to master what we originally intended. I know there'll be some of you out there that are really passionate writers, and you know, you start to create this novel and you chip away at it for a few months, but then something else catches your attention and your novel ends up going on standby. You think in your head, oh, you know, you'll come back to it. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It all depends if you can feel inspired by it again. But it is such a good idea to encourage yourselves to be inspired once more, because we INFPs are so talented. And when we are able to get our art out there or whatever we're passionate about, you know, that's what really makes a difference to us. I don't really know how to strengthen introverted sensing and extroverted thinking, but I guess I use those two functions every single day when I'm looking after my children and when I'm cleaning and paying bills and doing all that mundane stuff I talked about in the first challenge. As an INFP, I personally do aim for balance in my life, and I really think if I am to strengthen those bottom two functions, that means I'm able to better get my projects, my artwork out there, completed. I think probably the biggest challenge is dealing with conflict. Introverted feeling can be such a bitch sometimes, and when it comes to talking face to face with someone about how you feel about something, it can get pretty challenging for an INFP. Now, I always find being able to write my issue down is a much better method for me to be able to get my point across. It gives me a chance to really sort through my feelings and find the appropriate wording that can go along with what I'm truly meaning. I think I did a video based on this a few months ago where I talk about anger versus inferno. You're not angry, you're an inferno. Maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit less intense than that. We really want to have the person understand exactly what we are trying to convey. And sometimes talking to the person face to face is a real challenge. It's really hard to open up the thesaurus in our heads and be able to actually speak it. And sometimes we run into the trap of sugarcoating everything because we really don't want to go about hurting the person. There have been so many instances in my life where I've been faced with a conflict situation, and when the person would say what they need to say back to me, my mind would just go completely blank. All I ever wanted to do was go home, write everything down that I needed to, and then hand it to them, because then it gives them a chance to really think about it. But I don't really find myself in those situations, so sometimes I would just have to sit there and take it. And of course respond, which would end up being almost nothing. I think this is how people can really take advantage of INFPs, because we tend to be people that will fold under pressure. I know most INFPs want to be able to be more assertive and to be able to stand up for themselves a lot more. It's so challenging to be able to find the right words to come out in the right moments, where all we want to do is just to have the other person understand exactly what we are trying to say. I was really proud of myself last week because I was faced with really conflicting situations, and I was really able to just say what I needed to say, get my point across, and that was that. I really feel like I've come a long way since my teen years in terms of dealing with conflict. I've had several instances in my life where I have dealt with particular characters who have been extremely challenging. If you've followed my YouTube channel, you know that I've had several managers who have taken this position, and I must say I have learned a great deal from them. Not so much in standing up for myself per se, but I've learned a great deal about myself. I've learned how to appreciate my sensitivity. I've learned how to appreciate my compassion and my gentleness. Now, while I appreciate the sensitive part of me, the compassionate and gentle side of me, this sensitivity can be a problem sometimes. I have a really bad problem of overthinking things. I have been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, amongst a lot of other things. And overthinking lets the team down a lot of the time. You know how people pride themselves on not caring what other people think? Well, you know what? I do. I do care about what people think. I want people to like me. I'm not gonna lie. And when someone has a problem with me, with what I do, that can really hurt. I'm a peacemaker. I just want everybody to get along. And I know in reality, that's not going to happen. I know in reality, not everyone's going to like me, and not everyone's going to have something nice to say about me. I take that risk by having my YouTube channel and by uploading. I have to admit something to you guys. Sometimes I avoid my comment section, and I know that a lot of you guys write really lovely things to me, but sometimes I'm scared that I'm going to come up to a comment that's going to cut me. So yeah, that is why being sensitive is a real challenge for me as an INFP. However, I do try and turn my views of my sensitivity around and try and look at the goodness of it. I try and find the goodness in overthinking and deeply analyzing things. As a person who is deeply analytical and an overthinker, I realize that is why I'm such a good storyteller. I realize that is why I can make really good art. And that is what all of you have to remember, that this deeply analytical person and this person who overthinks everything has probably such a deep, rich inner world. Look at Tolkien, for instance. As an INFP, he created Middle-earth. That is something we as INFPs should all be proud of. Kurt Cobain, he also felt bothered by his sensitivity. Kurt Cobain cared about what people thought about him. Kurt Cobain also felt hurt by words, but look how much of a badass he was. So when I start to feel bad about my sensitivity and the fact that I overanalyze everything, I think about these wonderful INFPs whom I can look up to. It's okay to be sensitive. Now for my next challenge, that is expending our energy on other people. I know a lot of you out there have trouble making friends or being around people as it is. As you all know, I am personally very selective when it comes to friendships and who I want to spend my energy on. I had spent a lot of my teenagehood being a lone wolf, really. As a reserved person and the type of person who likes to shut myself away and to recharge, I found it extremely challenging to let people in who I didn't feel had the best intentions. It's no reflection on them, but it's just who I could personally resonate with. I know this is where INFPs get the stereotype of being standoffish and aloof. This can also feed into the fact that although we are selective when it comes to our friendships, we also do feel lonely. INFPs crave love. We crave people who we can deeply resonate with and connect with on a spiritual level. We want to be able to connect with people whom we can trust, knowing all about our deep, rich inner worlds. People who don't judge us and think we're really weird. I mean, we are weird, and I love that fact about us, but other people don't see it in quite the same light. We want to expend our energy on people who understand that and who like that aspect of us, because there is one thing INFPs don't do, and that is change for anybody. So when we're in a crowd, we don't just want to talk to people for the sake of talking to them, because what is the point of using up all that precious energy when we could use it on something much more fulfilling? Now for my last one, but certainly not least, that is self-promotion. Now I'm talking about self-promotion in many aspects, not just like a professional aspect. We tend to avoid the limelight. I think the reason we do this is we don't really want to step on anybody's toes. That's my reason at the very least. We don't want to expose ourselves in ways that would rub other people the wrong way. We tend to be people who are quiet observers, and we take information in and analyze it rather than be the center of attention. However, sometimes this is necessary, especially if we want to push ourselves to the next level, because if we don't, then we won't be opening new doors for ourselves. One thing with my YouTube channel is that I really have to self-promote as much as I don't like it. I feel really bad for this. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, I really do. And I'm telling you guys this because I don't want to come across as an egotistical person. I am honestly far from it. I feel like I'm a really humble person, and by putting myself out there and self-promoting, I just feel really exposed and like I'm kind of rubbing people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, if I want to be successful with my passion, that is just something that I'm gonna have to do. That's just something I'm gonna have to get over. I guess that all comes down to what you value. And as INFPs, we are people who are led by what we value. Me as an INFP, I value people who are humble. There's nothing I respect about people who show that they have massive egos and who people who think that they're better than other people. So that's why I find it really awkward to self-promote, to put my videos out there. But you know what? If you have a talent and you have something that you're really good at, please don't be afraid to self-promote. Please don't be afraid to say, hi, my name is so-and-so and I really love painting. If you're a painter, promote yourself as that. Put yourself out there. Some people might not like it, but that really is their own insecurity. You really don't know what's going to come from putting yourself out there, putting your talent out there. You don't know who is out there watching. And I know as INFPs, when we put our talent out there and our passions out there, we also feel really fulfilled by it. And that is why I self-promote, because I'm really passionate about my channel. I'm passionate about talking to you guys, and I want to be able to keep fulfilling that passion. So anyway, to conclude this video, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope there is something that you can take away, and I would love to hear what challenges you. But for now, I hope you have a really good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye.